Welcome back to another episode of Sheer Ride here in New Zealand. It's a beautiful sunny day and I'm inline skating, or what I usually call it rollerblading or blading, along the coast of Hawke's Bay on this absolutely beautiful smooth concrete, wearing my Powerslide Next Core Black 100mm tri skates, and this is video number 2. If you haven't checked out my first video, my first impressions of these skates, check that out. This video is a follow-up video, and in this video I just want to talk about, now a few months later, how I feel about these skates, what I've done to improve the enjoyment of wearing these skates, because I have had issues with really bad skin wear on the inside of my feet, and some of the tips and tricks that I'm using, yeah, to just make my skate feel good. So for me, I went from 20 years or 30 years now, it works out, rollerblading with other skates, more street style urban skates, and then recently I decided, because I hadn't bought skates in 20 years and I was using some very old skates, that I'd get these Powerslide skates, and like many people, I watched lots of YouTube videos and try to figure out what would be the best skate to go for these days, and I just really like the look of this boot. It's it kind of reminded me a bit of a aggressive skate in the sense of the boot was kind of like that. It looked cool, nice sized wheels. I thought 100mm was pretty good. For me, I was going from probably 40mm wheels up to 100, so it was a big change. But there have been some challenges with this boot for my feet. So I've got quite wide feet. They're 27.5 centimeters at the longest. They're about 11 centimeters wide at the thickest. And so choosing skates online, and I was buying these from, I live in New Zealand, and I was buying these from America, which meant it was going to be quite a bit in the cost of getting them sent to me, so I wanted to make sure I didn't have to send them back. It turned out the original skates that I did get, which was some Roces skates, they were too small, so I ended up having to spend, you know, $300 getting them here and back. So that was a giant waste of money. I didn't really like those skates much at all. They were way too small. So then I decided, hey, I'll try the Powerslides, and ordered the Powerslide ones, and I ordered them a size bigger than what my normal shoe size is. So normally I'd be wearing 43, and these are 44, 45, and these were pretty much a perfect fit on my feet. But I did notice using these skates that I was getting a lot of wear on the inside of my left foot and around the ankle, and also a bit on the right foot, but mainly on the left foot. And when I posted my last video about it, lots of people were saying, you know, I've got the same issue, I've got a lot of pain in my left foot. I was wearing the skin clean off, and just, it was raw flesh on some of the trips. It was really bad. I did a trip along here. It was about 35k, and I think about, yeah, when I got to the 17k where I was going to turn around, at that point I'd worn all the skin off, and then it'd make my whole way back again, the whole way just tearing the foot apart, which was so painful. It was unbelievable. So since then I've done a whole bunch of other things to kind of help manage that, and then also make the skate fit better, and then also other ways I could stop that wear on my feet as well. Okay, so one of the first things I did to make my skate a little bit better and not wear on the inside of my left foot, I found that this bolt here, and it might be the same on both the sides of your skates, this bolt actually goes a little bit too deep past and starts to push in against your foot and also your boot. So if you unscrew this, just take a screwdriver, just a Phillips screwdriver, unscrew this completely, take this piece off, and then what I did is I just put a little thin washer in between the strap here and the boot, and then just screwed this back on, and that gave that little extra thickness so that the screw didn't have to quite, well, you know, it didn't have that extra length to go further in. It was being kept on the outside here, and that helped a lot. And then I also heat molded this boot, so you can take these boots out, you take these out, put them in your oven 90 degrees Celsius for 9 minutes, and then after 9 minutes take it out, you slide it back into your boot. You want to do this quite quickly. Wearing socks, quite thick socks I recommend, you know, like just a little bit thicker than maybe your normal socks that you wear. Put them on, put your foot back into the hot, warm, quite warm, not boiling hot, but quite hot boot. Tie it up, strap it on like you would when you're going to wear it, and then just sit there in your chair with a bit of weight on it and move around a little bit in it for about 6 minutes, and the MyFit boot will start to mold to the shape of your foot. So you go through that process a couple of times. So 90 degrees Celsius, 9 minutes in the oven, take them out, put your foot in, and only the inner booty, not the entire skate. Cool. So that's what you can do for your skate to help. You can further heat mold the boot. I don't think that's going to help me too much. Maybe, I mean, I could look at that and just push it out just a little bit. Maybe that will actually help. But what I found is, if I'm using strapping tape like this, I'll put this, and I'm going to do that now, I'll put that where I get the wear marks and cover that, and this acts as a layer of skin that's not wearing my skin directly but wearing on this. And I definitely notice after the skate you can really see the wear marks where it is, generally around the ankle, and if you look just down here now, you can almost see the spots here probably where it's a bit pinker, but right here and around the ankle is where I find in these skates you get a lot of pain. This is where they've just could have maybe just done maybe something else with the boot. Maybe it's just a certain type of foot type like mine, but there seems to be a lot of people saying we're all having an issue with our left foot in these boots, and also a little bit to the right, to be honest. So our type of feet, I guess, are just wearing badly in these boots. But if you put some of this tape, so just grab a bit like this off. It's quite strong stuff. And I do that. Just an extra layer there. Sometimes I put a little bit more on. I'm doing a really long trip and I know it's going to start to peel off. And I'll do that on both sides of my feet, and I find that really does make a massive difference for me. I can go a lot further without having to worry about blisters. And then another little trick that I learned back when I used to do orienteering, back when I did orienteering, was wear 2 sets of socks. Normally I bring slightly thinner ones, but yeah, I basically just buy, you know, a pack of 4 socks all identical, and I'll wear 2 sets each time. So basically like this, put a layer on, so that acts as a layer of skin in a way. You got your tape, and then another layer like this. Then put my boot on, and the 2 socks. So I learnt that in orienteering when we used to get really wet socks when running around, so you wouldn't get blisters while you're doing your race. And it acts like 2 layers of skin that can move against each other. And you'll find if you do that for those longer skates with the tape, you just don't get those problems anymore, and that has totally solved my issue with these boots. doing that, going through this process every time I skate. I've ridden, so my other skates that I have, my more aggressive skates, they're kind of like a hard and soft shell, almost in a K2 kind of style. They were the ones who kind of brought, originally from memory, brought out the soft shell, semi-soft shell boots, and I find they're actually just a little bit more comfortable than these sort of fully shelled boots so far from my experience. But you know, these, apart from that, these skates are just so lovely to skate on, so maneuverable. Another thing I just want to quickly talk about is turning the wheels. So every time you skate, you're wearing the wheels, and what you quickly find is one side of the wheel looks a lot more worn than the other, so you've got to rotate them. So I found with these 100mm skates, I tend to rotate them every 30k. So that's every 2 trips usually, because I'll do about 15k per trip on my sort of just normal trips. Yeah, so I'll turn them every 2nd trip, and that works out to about 30 kilometers. Then I spin them around. Sometimes I'll move that to that. Every now and then I'll move that all the way back and rotate them that way too. And that just means your wheels are just going to wear more evenly as you use them, and they'll last a lot longer, and it'll be a much more enjoyable skate as well. So I recommend doing that. Another really great thing with these skates is you only need one Allen key. They screw straight into here. You don't need the 2 on either side. All you need is one Allen key, and I really like that about it. Absolutely beautiful. So those are the things I've done to make these skates work for me. And as long as I go through this process of just taping around where my ankles are, just so I don't wear all the skin off, wearing 2 layers of socks, it's a really good skate. It's just really well put together. You know, it's just unfortunate just a little bit with the shape of my foot, I guess. I get that, but there's a lot of you guys out there with the same issue, so I hope this helps. Plenty of maneuverability. This bit's always fun. I don't know if you can really see it, but I'm about to go through some S-turns, and they're quite cool. Coming through here, it's just lovely. Beautiful surroundings. Check that out. Yum beer. Which way shall I take? I think I'll go through this way. worries if you've got your eyes about you. I mean, when you think about it, 40 kilometers of just beautiful smooth concrete like this, right next to the sea. You get a beautiful fresh sea breeze the whole way. Cannot talk more highly about the smooth concrete that they have here in Napier. It is beautiful, it is lovely, it is so smooth. Oh, and it just keeps going. So part way along here you can park camper vans along here, which is really cool. So you can park your camper van, and there also just happens to be a really cool BMX pump track right here. Let's cruise on that. We'll just go quickly cut across this grass, which you can do with these wheels. All right. Let's go. It's fun, just for a little bit of extra practice in your pumps. Sweet. All right, I think I'll probably start heading back now. Alright, so that's as far as I'm going to go today, but it does keep going for quite a while more, and try and do that some other time. Alright. These blades are like a hot knife through butter. It just cuts, it's cut along so nice. Rollerblading is such a nice feeling. It's like skateboarding, it's just like snowboarding, it's like skiing. It's that lovely feeling of flow. But what I really like is it's attached to my feet. That's why I kind of that's why I converted from skateboards over to rollerblades. As I got older, the less time I had on the board, the less I could do on it. As we were with rollerblades, I was just comfortable straight away, could jump really easily up curbs and wherever I need to go, because the jumping part's not the hard part. It's just the balance and the learning the technique. But once you've got that technique, you can pretty much do anything. So to be able to keep fit and get a bit of a thrill, get a bit of a buzz, a bit of adrenaline pumping through my veins, you know, maneuvering through people, the road, there's train tracks coming up in a sec, that sort of thing. Just so cool, just gotta love it. So here we got some lights coming up. I don't see any trucks, bumps, over rocks, nice and easy, over these bumps, no worries, easy. Let's do the train tracks. Here we go, we've got some train tracks. That's what I usually do. I'm coming in fast, race off onto the grass, slow down, cruise in here, push off, roll. Over the bumps, around the corner, done. Easy maneuver, no problem on big nice wheels like these. No worries. So the reason why I call inline skating rollerblading is because the original brand of inline skates was rollerblade. So for everyone who started skating back then, since you could only get pretty much rollerblade, we just called inline skating rollerblading or blading. So I keep doing that, and I watched the last video I did and I'm like, oh man, you've got to start calling it inline skating. It's not rollerblading, that's just the brand. Sweet, that's it, we made it back again. We've been all the way around here, we've been around the port, we've been along Marine Parade, all the way to the BMX track, the pump track, and back again. It'll be interesting to see what this works out to be on Strava. Should we have a quick look? Let's have a look. 24 kilometers we've done. Stop. Let's zoom out. That's what it looks like. 24k. Average speed 20 kilometers per hour. 1 hour 11 moving time. See you again soon. Ciao.